I remember loving gaming. I still do to this day. And I've quit at the beginning of this year. I haven't gone back since then. But for me, video games were something special. I would play them day in, day out because it's like that fun thing, that fun dopamine hit, which I know now, but didn't know back then, where I could play, I'd be good at something, even if it was virtual, and I could feel good about it. And even if my life was a bit terrible, where I didn't have friends to really connect with, people who truly cared about me, things to really do in my life, right? Video games were there for me. There was the escapism on demand. I could always jump back into Dark Souls and kill the next boss. I could always feel like I'd accomplished something, even if I had nothing in my real life. But the more I did it, the more I immersed myself into that virtual world, the more my mind started to scream at the back of my head. Because I knew I was capable for more. I knew I could accomplish more within my life, but I wasn't doing so. The games weren't as fun anymore now that I was growing up. Now I wanted to accomplish new things within my life. I wanted to face my fears. I wanted to become a better individual. I stumbled upon self improvement YouTube. And I remember watching Hamza's videos when I first started, right, in 2022. And it hit me that I could be doing so much more with my life. That video games are truly holding me back. That I did want to build a body. That I did want to be happy. That I did want to enjoy and respect myself as an individual instead of hating myself for being who I was each and every single day. But video games still provided me that escape. Because I knew what I needed to do. I knew what I needed to do to change my life. Go to the gym, start meditating, do the good habits. Listen to the voice in your brain which is telling you what to do. But video games were just so strong because every time I went into it, I could numb that voice. Because that voice was holding me accountable. That voice was painful. It was telling me what I needed to do, and every single time I ignored it, I died a little bit more on the inside. Because everybody has that voice within them. Everybody has that voice telling them, you need to lose weight. You need to go to the gym. You need to go talk to that person. You need to face your fear. Because we all know we need to do these things. But we have gotten so used to numbing that voice, avoiding the signals, avoiding the omens, as I would like to say. Because that's just what's socially acceptable now. I've gotten over gaming, right? I broke free. I quit at the beginning of this year, and I haven't looked back. It's painful, but I realize it was for the better. Whenever I sit down on the train, whenever I sit down on the bus, I always just see people on their phones. I'm not judging. Maybe they have something important to do. I don't know what's going on in their life. But it just seems like people don't take the time to think. People don't take the time to listen to that voice telling them what to do with their life. We're all hiding from who we possibly could be. At least that's what I was doing when I was addicted to porn, addicted to video games, especially video games. It was the escape from who I was. And numbing that, it didn't change my life. It just delayed the pain. It just made the pain when I actually had to face and overcome all of it that much more difficult, that much more painful to overcome. Because we all are capable of so much. I'm not saying everybody is special, everybody is destined for greatness. It's not. That's just not the truth. Yes, everybody is capable of greatness. Everybody is capable of doing so much more than we think we are capable of, right? Than me and you, right? We are capable of so much more. The person who's watching this video, you could do so much with your life. But we've gotten used to just avoiding the work, avoiding the voices in our head, numbing it, being addicted to social media, being addicted to digital devices on a computer, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, all these things that don't matter, right? This stuff wasn't around 100 years ago. We had nothing but our thoughts back then, anyways. Addictions, the modern world, everything it seems like is working as hard as it can to compete for your attention. You are the only one who knows what you need to do. You are the only one with your thoughts in your head. And most people can't even sit down with that anymore. I go to the gym. I go on the bus. I go on the train. I go around in my world. I'm not judging these people. I'm not saying that they are bad individuals because I don't know them. But it's like people can't sit still with their thoughts when their thoughts are everything that... It's like the most important thing you could have. Your thoughts determine your reality. Your thoughts determine where you can go within your life, what you are destined for, how you see yourself, everything. Right? For me, when I meditate, if I sit down, I process thoughts in my mind. I realize I get so much more clarity. I get so much more peacefulness within my life. Yeah, the computer is fun. Reading books online is great. Recording these YouTube videos, I enjoy it. But this is not what life is about. Life is not about numbing our senses, our mind, in these things that have been invented recently. It's about living. It's about getting outside and talking to people, being in person, being present, practicing peace of mind, actually enjoying your life. Because once again, numbing. If you have a cut off leg and you need painkillers, that's good. That's the proper time to use it. But you don't use painkillers every single time you cut yourself on a finger, right? If you burned your hand, well, you learn now. You're not going to do it again, right? Why are we like, there's just this mentality these days for social media addiction. It's normalized at this point where people go on their phones, go on their devices, do everything in their power to avoid being bored. When being bored is a state for change, right? And then it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. And I'm getting very, very, passionate about the subject. It just boggles my mind that people know it's not good for them, right? People know it is not good for them. And I'm not preaching. I'm not saying do this, do this, do this. But it's like, think about it. I just want to put this opinion across. Think about it. If you know it's not good for you, if you know you could be doing something else with your time, what are you afraid of? Why are you waiting? Right? There's this thing called the any benefit mentality, and I used to be a part of this too, where for the longest time with video games, I would think, hey, it feels good, it takes the edge off, it's only an hour a day, that's okay, right? But I was ignoring every single con that it had against it. So I enjoyed it and took the edge off. Those are two pros. The cons were it was destroying my life, destroying my confidence, ruining my grades and stuff, made me a hermit within my room. It prevented me from actually living life. There were so many cons to it, so many negatives to that side, that it prevented me from actually just, living a life that I could be proud of. And same thing, this is why I don't have social media on my phone. I have WhatsApp, I have messages, that's all I need, right? The way I see it, our thoughts are the most valuable power available to us. We determine what we're going to do. We determine where we are going to go in our life. And I said this already. But if I hadn't taken the time to think, if I hadn't taken the time to disconnect from all of this, what would I be replacing it with? Right? Social media, things to numb my mind, playing video games, it's fun. It is fun. But it has no actual impact on who I am or where I want to go in my life. It doesn't help me become better. It doesn't change my life. It just feels good. And I want to be above that. I want to be above the desire to just feel good all the time. I can be bored. I can sit down with my thoughts. And of course I mess up at this. Of course I spend too much time on my computer. I was doing this before I made this video. But we are all greater than that. You and me. We are both better than that. So, I don't know. You don't need it, right? We didn't have this 100 years ago. You didn't have this when you were a kid. Why do we need to start now? Why does this need to be the sort of thing that dominates our mind, dominates our attention? Choose it. If you genuinely are going on to YouTube to watch an educational video or something that has an intention behind it, go for it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not going to say don't ever use YouTube again. I know, it just pisses me off. That just makes me annoyed because people have so much more to offer. I have so much more to offer. And if I could go back to that guy a couple of years ago who was making this mistake when it first started, I would tell him the same thing. But this video is basically for my younger self. Why are you doing that? Why are you numbing your attention? Why are you avoiding the voice telling you what to do with your life? Listen to it. Listen to that voice. It is what's going to tell you where you need to go, how you're going to get there, and it will help you on that path to do so. But you can never listen to it if you've always sedated it, if you've always numbed it, and you can't even hear it anymore. Listen to that voice. It's going to tell you what you need to do. So yeah, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you like this content. Peace.